Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elconin. Welcome to Monday's edition of the Government Shutdown Pre-Market Info.
For the potential government shutdown here, knocking 15 handles off the S&P futures. Wow, I don't even know what to say. You go away there, Joel, and we were kind of just hanging out. You come back, and it doesn't look good here at all. How was your trip?
Good. Was out on the left coast for a wedding and was able to watch all my weekly puts expire worthless on Friday.
And then it
That's
always
always
worked that way.
yeah, that's always a fun thing. But hey, we'll put them on again here. S&Ps, did take out that support that we were holding at the 1685 level. Dipped down to 1680, and then the news overnight we came crashing through there. People are going to be looking for support here. Got the pre-market low at 1670.50, just hovering above that. My next major support point in the S&P futures is 1662.50.
8 points.
That was your September 10th low. So that'd be down another eight handles for, and they won't crush it down there today. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I should have took the Happy Meal, Joel. You offered me the Happy Meal, getting out of the bet there when we get to 1740. I was nervous up there. I kind of wanted, if you would have upped it to I don't know, some type of middle class meal, like a Red Robin or something like that. Just a McDonald's Happy Meal was too much. So the steak dinner, I was still like, I only need 15 more points here. I didn't think I was going to get it, and I didn't get it, and now I need another 70 points. So I don't know. I guess I should have took the Happy Meal. Anyways, we have been
Yeah,
down seven of the last. This
look
is
at that.
6 or 7 of the last trading sessions here. This quiet, bull rally here when everybody got bullish after the taper, and we kind of thought they were getting too bullish, and kaplooey, we are now below of where we were before that taper, before they didn't taper,
What you nailed? Yep, the
the
non-taper taper.
non-taper.
Yeah, you nailed that, Dennis. That's the most bearish I've ever,
You know what though?
heard
I
you
didn't
since.
nail it though. Here I am. So I made a great call, but again, I just the way I positioned myself, I got too short term, and I was like, I think we're gonna dump tomorrow, and I was like buying in the puts, and I had a lot of weekly puts, and I made some good money on it, but I should have got really bearish and just flat out shorted stocks. Been holding it, so I sit there and I get 10 or 15 points, which is good. But the stupid scalper blood in me, you gotta somehow squeeze that scalper blood out of me because it's in me. And it's like, oh man, I just I'm up 10, or basically 10 handles on some of this stuff here, 10, 15. I gotta take some of this money off the table. And if I've been holding here, you were 50 points below where we just were. So man, there was a lot of money I left on the table.
Right, to just we always try and point out different things about the market and learn lessons from prior market activity. The euphoria that we had here on the non-taper just floated up on
Oh
that
yeah,
day for absolutely, no reason. I mean, the reason was interest
delaying
rates
it.
weren't going up,
Yeah.
but then you just had a quiet day after that, a little bit consolidation, and then you took out the low from the prior day. So just sometimes when it's not always pays to be a contrarian. It's as I well know since shorting this market over the last couple of years, but sometimes you have to look at things and for the value that they come in. But also on Saturday when I was looking at the charts and at the levels for today's trading, I just looked at some of these charts and they just this is prior government shutdown, Dennis. Is
Yeah.
that a healthy looking chart?
Yeah, well, it's kind of scary. Here, remember ExxonMobil? We were talking about it back in August when it had 21 out of 22 days in a row red. I know that was like almost felt like a record or something. Well, just quietly here, ExxonMobil has had 6 days in a row red here again. This streaky stock here is actually taking out the lows in the pre-market that it
Mm-hmm.
set back when it had that horrible streak on August 21st, got down to 86.39. It is taking that on the pre-market, trading at 86.15 right now, and that is a scary chart, and that is scary when these stocks start breaking down like this.
Right, and taking a look at the pre-market activity, made a low here at 86.10 and just kind of flopping here, not really getting much of a bounce, but as you've said so many times, on the show, you are opening into a support level, psychological $86 level, kind of supporting, the current low at 86.10. Looking though at the daily, so Dennis, I got to be honest with you, I don't see any major support in this thing down to 85.02. Now I'm not going to go down another buck off the open, but that was a low that you had back in April. So if you equate where the market was in
Yeah.
April with the where your top component is in the S&P here, $85 might be a target for some of you longer term traders today in Exxon Mobil.
And I remember that $85 level. Even in 2012, we were talking about it and trading off that $85 level. It got down there multiple times in November and December. I think even in January it touched down to 85 again, bottoming at that level. So 85 is absolutely a huge level for the stock. I mean, it jumps out on that chart like a sore thumb. So I think, if we do start to fall off and actually get below 86, I think we might test that 85 level. I do expect, hopefully some type of bounce there, though. Might as well.
Yeah, yearly low though. Just one last thing here, Dennis.
Yep.
Yearly low in ExxonMobil, 84.70. So another level to support that $85 level.
Chevron, its little brother there. That chart doesn't look nearly as bad as the ExxonMobil one. It's held up quite well. I don't know why ExxonMobil's so relatively weak compared to Chevron, because Chevron's really only $4 or $5 off its all-time high here. It is down the pre-market as well. Obviously, everything's down when we're down 16 handles, but we're down a buck at 121.60. Where do you think this one's heading?
Wow, I haven't looked at the chart in this one in a long time. You're only 90 cents off from Friday's low. So if you get a pop, look at that 122.40, 122.51 level as a resistance point. Go to the charts here. You did have a low at 120.98. Okay, on July 12th. We're coming into that area right now as we take a look at the pre-market low. A little ways away from there, 121.50. So for the stock that's been holding up pretty well here, you take out that pre-market low, 121.50, you got that 120.98. You probably have some few institutions there, maybe at that 121 level.
Yeah, 120 even too. We're a buck and a half away. But if ExxonMobil goes to 85, I think Chevron goes to the 120. And I think that's where they'll find support too. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel here if if you've stuck with a few longs here, because we are coming into a few major support areas, just a buck and a half down on Exxon and Chevron. Let's move on to a couple of the other big guns here, Joel. Let's look at Apple, because Apple obviously popped way up there. Couldn't get above 500, though the 500 area acted as resistance. Drifted down for the last 5 days. Been hanging out above 480. I wanted to see that 480 level hold. It's trying to hold here in the pre-market. We're trading 479.90 here, but I'd keep an eye on obviously the low from on Friday, which was 480.72. We start to take that out, and it does start to open up.
And also, just a quick reminder here: when we got this, we made the low under 450. We got the pop, and then the last impetus was the pop was the announcement of eight oversubscribing and all selling all these iPhones and everything. And then it popped on that. It popped, but it couldn't clear the $500 level. So once again, here's good news: opportunity to exit a stock, or at least look at it as short position. You had to gap up. I'm looking at this 478 level. That will fill the gap for Apple here on the dailies. I believe that was part of trading of 5-6 sessions ago. So 478.55 fills the gap from September 20th. But then under that, there's not a lot of support in the rest of the 470 handle. Another gap to fill around 466. So light support here for Apple under 480.
Couple of the other big guns here. I'm noticing Facebook pulling back here today, and this chart, Joel, since you've been gone, and even before you're gone, this has just been an incredible march for Facebook. Ever since it put in the double bottom, but looking back on the 16th and the 17th, right on the kisser at 42.43, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive up days in Facebook. I know, well, I guess you got one chart there, one little dot there where we weren't up, but we didn't close down, so it was at least a higher low anyways on that day. We made new highs again on Friday, up at 51.28, closed near those highs, 51.24. It is pulling back today. Obviously, people concerned with the overall market here. They're selling everything across the board. Is this a stock that is going to come in and buy again?
$49.86. So this thing is, with the SPOOs down 15, this thing is not even at Friday's low yet here at 49.86. People just
That was so
stuck
low.
short this thing.
Yeah.
So just from learn from, some of my experiences in Tesla here is that, when the stock is strong, SPOOs can go down all they want, but, you know, it's sometimes they're selling SPOOs and buying Facebook.
I know.
It almost seems like,
It,
but I'd have to wait to see this thing. The all-time high close 51.24. The all-time high 51.28. I think that 50 level is probably going to hold up for a day or two, and see if you can get a double bottom or triple bottom or something like
bounce
that, and
out of
then a
there. Yeah.
breakthrough for that. Yeah, so I'm not ready to predict any doom and gloom here yet for Facebook.
You mentioned Tesla. We might as well check that one out too, because again, it's similar. It's made a new high on Friday. It's pulling back a big $2 here this morning, so not much for a $190 stock considering we were down 15 handles here. So this is another one where I wouldn't be surprised if they come in and start buying this thing too. Even if the S&P futures are down, they seem to always look for something else to buy, and they like the strong stocks right now. I don't know when this bubble bursts in Tesla. It's gonna burst eventually, but it could be a lot higher before it bursts because we know these bubbles can continue to inflate and inflate a lot more than anybody thinks they can.
Right, and not even trading anywhere near the low that you had on Friday at 186.43. Made a low in the pre-market. Let's take a look at where we got to. We only dipped under the 188 level, the 187.81. We're a buck above that, even with the SPOOs down 15. Just looking at this chart, we were concentrating a little bit on Tesla Motors when it had that extended consolidation period,
The
several sessions
160s.
between 160 and 170, and I was looking at the strangle, but forgot to put the calls on
Ooh.
and just put the puts on.
Ooh.
So, bumping over that 170. Now maybe you'll get a period of consolidation here, maybe like 185 to 195, and then Tesla will make up its mind for the next big move.
Couple other ones here that were moving on Friday. Let's go talk. We've talked about JCPenney the last three shows. We might as well talk about it again because it is the most incredible chart you'll see right now happening. Obviously, it's down here again this morning. I mean, everything was crazy from the last few days. Since you've been gone, Joel, this has had news, it seems like multiple times a day. Oh, everything's okay. We don't see doing an equity offering. We don't probably need to do an equity offering this year. And then after the bell, they do an equity offering and they kill the stock. And it makes new lows. And on Friday, breaks down, making new lows again. We are breaking down here again this morning, down to $8.83 here right now. When does the pain end for JC Penny shareholders?
Wow, what a time to do a secondary.
I mean, they need money. They need money. What are you going to do? But
That's like throwing out the life preserver, I mean, after a
help.
sell-off like this, yeah, to do a secondary on this stock, that didn't. I read that news, just didn't make any sense here. Especially it comes out
Makes sense. They need
undersubscribed. I
money.
mean,
Doesn't make any
but
sense
then,
if you're bullish the stock, though.
well, it doesn't. If you think about the end result, if you do a secondary and no one lines up to buy it,
Well,
then
that's a scary
it's
thing.
even and to me that's from on all accounts that may be happening. And
Ooh.
that 885 was Friday's low. It's the only level I can give you. I know if I go to monthlies
Good luck.
here, I don't know if my monthlies even go that far back.
I don't think
I'm
so.
just keeping 885. You got people in all kind of world of hurt coming back over to $9 level. You can use that as probably minor resistance. But it's funny that Carl, when he started beating up on Ackman, boy, this is one thing he stayed away from.
Yeah, well, and that's a good thing here on it. And Ackman, you got to give him some props here too. He sold this thing up at like 1280, so I mean, he took a lot of heat and lost a lot of money on it, but at least he got out, and it's a lot further. It's a lot worse here now, in a lot worse shape. So here's something that Ackman actually has done right in the last month by dumping his J.C. Penney shares. So 885, I guess, is the number. They're trying to defend it here in the pre-market, but man, I just don't know if it's going to be able to be defended here. And if it starts taking that out again, I guess you got to look out below. Procter Gamble chart here, not looking that healthy either.
Right, Friday's low 76.77. So you're trading on at a minor support point here. You did I don't know how you discount that flash crash day that we had. I think I
Yeah,
took it down to
I
75.33, but
strike it from the
the
charts.
yep, yep, strike it from the charts. But what I like our traders to pay attention to is the 76.40 to 42 level. You had a low on September 6th at 76.40, and then a low at 76.42. That was on August 29th. So that's your support levels there for Procter and Gamble.
Let's flip over here and show us at least something that's trading up on the day here because we've been pretty bearish here. It's been pretty gloom and doom type of deal. But we do have a few stocks getting upgraded today, and they are actually trading up. Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, getting upgraded at Morgan Stanley today. It's a $400 stock, and it's up $2. So there you go. There's something to get excited about if you're on the bullish side here. We got one stock trading up here, CMG.
Yep. Also, if you like soggy burritos, this stock is this is the one for you. Getting an upgrade here
Sorry.
in the pre-market, traded up to 421 in change. I guess if you're going to ride this Morgan Stanley upgrade here, you can let it go. You have resistance at 422 from Thursday and 423.78. September 24th was that 23.78 high. Major support though, if you want to sell it on weakness at the 415 level, had three lows in that handle. But with just going from our past lessons learned here on good news or upgrades or news where the stock is popping here, contrary to the market, may be an opportunity here to take the other side in Chipotle Mexican Grill.
Colgate CL trading up here too, and they are getting upgraded as more at Morgan Stanley as well. I guess Morgan Stanley bullish a couple of stocks here this morning. It's not trading up much. It's only up a dime. I mean, if the futures were up more, this would be up more. But when you're down 15 points, it's going to weigh on everything, and that is weighing on Colgate. But enough that it's still trading green. This Morgan Stanley upgrade.
Yeah, do you got, I don't know if you can see that far in the book, but do you have someone kicking around here at 60-50 because you had
I don't see anything.
perhaps some size there, 60-50, Dennis?
I don't
Because
see
we
anything,
had,
but it could be heading.
yeah,
It could be heading.
yep, three of the last five highs were in the 60-40 handle,
Yeah,
60-41 to
good point.
60-47. So if this upgrade does get some momentum here, perhaps you want to take a look at that 60-50 level as a major resistance point. And coming on the downside here, 59.49 was your low on Thursday, and 59.65. So good support for now at that 59.60 level.
Morgan Stanley, not bear or not bullish all these stocks. They are downgrading Panera Bread this morning, PNRA, and Panera Bread is trading down about 2% here. And this chart's interesting too because it is actually taking out the low that we had back on September the 11th, which was 162.36. We're trading at 160.5 this morning, so this is making new lows on the move, and that's concerning for bullish.
Yeah, definitely. Are looking at 162.38. We've taken out that low by a considerable amount. Looking at the weeklies here, the stock probably has some major support here around the 160 level. He did have a low at 159.26 back in September, but you already got it down $3.50. So 160 would be that psychological level. By the way, Dennis, the S&Ps are making new lows here as we're speaking. 69.50 last print.
Wow, bring up the S&P futures chart here. So you're thinking if you can look at just where you were talking about that 62 level there, just try to point out where you see, because you were saying it's kind of a
That
little bit of air in there.
Yeah, yep. September 10th low here that you had was going back here. Yep, September 10th was a 62.50 low, but we're already down. We're already down 17 handles. So I mean, almost already traded the average daily range and stuff. So I think you're going to get a number here as a low, before the 9:30 market opens, and that'll be the level to keep an eye on besides that 62.50 level.
So I think the pre-market low is going to have some relevance here if we ever do make a pre-market low.
If we ever make one.
Yeah, because I look too at that 62, just leaving that chart up there. If we take that out too, we're not doing that today, but we ran up very quickly from 1640 to 1680. It was 4 trading sessions, and we always say when we run up quickly, we can run down quickly. And you start thinking, well, what if this government shutdown does happen here? Do we open weak again tomorrow and start taking out even more handles? It's kind of a scary thought. Or do you think they're going to get like some resolution here tonight, last minute resolution, and we'll avoid a shutdown? I know they're saying that they think that the shutdown is a distinct possibility here now.
Well, I mean, I can't predict what the government's going to do. The government can't predict what the government's going
True.
to do. But if you are playing these things from the short side, just have your protective stops in there. So if some kind of, I'm sure we're going to get several false news reports during the day. And that's going to cause these spikes in the market. So play it close to the bell. Put your stops in. Don't necessarily have to reverse to go long. But just be prepared for whatever news events happen over the next day till the countdown here. The countdown clock's making everybody nervous here on CNBC.
Just before we close the show, let's look quickly at a couple of the financials because they are very weak here this morning. Start with Bank America. It's trading down 20 cents here, BAC, and it broke down with a vengeance there on Friday, breaking through that key support of 14 bucks. That is history now. Closed at 13.90, and now it's trading at 13.70, and we are entering a little bit of an area where there is a lot of air.
Right. You did have a double bottom that you're trading below here at 1376 and 77 back in middle of July. Now, if that can't get back above that level, you're looking at 1347, a 1350 level. Let's call it as your next support point. So you do have some air down to that level. Just move over. Leo is looking at the Wells Fargo here as a potential short in the market. This stock has been holding up pretty well here. I like to look. This stock is one that just will make a bunch of lows in the same area.
41.
Here. Yeah, the 41.29 level here. Maybe if you get a pop back up to there, use that as a resistance level. Also 41.41 and 41.51 were the lows from Thursday and Friday. So, Leo, I think maybe if you're patient during the week and you get a rally up to that 41.50 level, you got a little better chance here. Shorting Wells Fargo, I don't care how much the SPOOs are down. Shorting Wells Fargo down 53 cents. You almost imagine going to take some kind of heat.
Yeah, especially when it's opening into support because you got multiple lows just around the 41 area, 41.04 if we look back to late August, 40.98, 40.92. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bottoms here around this 41 level. If anybody's short from there, they're probably going to be covering it in this 41 area. And people pick bottoms. They see the charts and they look, oh, that's the level it's going to. So it can kind of be self-fulfilling. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing does find support at 41. So if you're selling at 41.06 this morning, I think your risk is a lot more than your potential return. JP Morgan here, trading down here substantially as well, 75 cents. We bounced off that $50 level there a couple days ago. We are coming back here quickly this morning though and trading down.
Right. Also, I looked at some of these issues and probably got some people leaning the wrong way on the close here. That stock closed only 16 cents off its high, 52.40 high, 52.24 close. So going to have a little extra downside pressure in this stock. We are trading at Friday's low, 51.39. So look at that, it's your support level. But the major support is really under this 50.30 level. Had a low at 50.30 and another low at 50.06 on the 25th. So that would be your support in JP Morgan.
Well, that's our show for today, guys. We have bounced a buck on the S&P futures. We're at 1670.5 right now. So the low on the overnight has been 1669.5. We'll keep an eye on that pre-market lows as we approach the 9:30 open. Have a great day. Back at you tomorrow.